All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It's Thursday, guys. Blessings to everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. And guys, I have to say, I am scared, I am nervous, I am freaking out because Bitcoin is dumping, and I'm currently in $400,000 worth of long trades right now. As we are dumping to the downside, I am very nervous and very scared. Huge shout out to all the sponsors of the channel. First of all, a major shout out to Market Cipher, best indicator on TradingView, marketciphertrading.com, link in the description. Also, guys, major, huge shout out to MEXC, best deal on fees in the game, 0% limit order fees, 0.01% taker order fees. This is absolutely the best when it comes to trading crypto. You can also trade up to 1,500 different altcoins on here with 0% spot fees. Major shout out to ZOOMEX, the other exchange I'm trading on as well, as good old BingX. All right, BingX, if you sign up, you can get up to $6,200 to trade with. Currently in a short trade right now of 10,000 US dollars from this last local high that we put in from the CDW up here. Guys, make sure to like the stream because if we can get 1,000 likes during the first half hour of the stream, we will be giving away 1,000 USDT. All right, it's been a very, very profitable time for me trading the past few weeks, and I do want to share my juicy profits with you guys. All right, so shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Let's see who we got in the house. Bitcoin price is, guys, I mean, it is dumping. All right, we're going to talk about what has happened here and what we need to be basically prepared for because this is not looking so good, is it, guys? Put a 1 in the chat right now if you think Bitcoin is heading for much lower prices. If you think this dump is serious, put a 1 in the chat. Major shout out to everybody in the house. Shout out to Jay Walker. All right. Jay Walker's on the same page with Jelani. Shout out to Jelani. Shout out to Darla Adams. Shout out to Ancient Insights. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to Jerome. Shout out to Aaron G. He says he can't hear anything because the gym is too loud. All right. Shout out to Ancient Insight. He says Jesus is king and we're going to pump. Man, amen and amen. Let's pump. That would be absolutely awesome. All right. Allison says fake out. Yolanda says bruh. Shout out to Darla Adams. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. He's watching Peter Schiff on PBD. Bitcoin hater LOL. Shout out to Baker's Food. Shout out to 007 Nev. He says dump done. It's a big buy zone. All right. Huge shout out to Chris YouTube. He thinks Bitcoin is in danger. Rebecca thinks Bitcoin's in danger. River and Toys thinks that Bitcoin right now is in massive, major danger. Shout out to Hanafi Muhammad who thinks Bitcoin's in danger. Beeks thinks Bitcoin's about to dump. We're heading much lower. We're heading much lower. All right, shout out to Aaron G. Holding it down with the wrench. Shout out to Dave Augustine. He says, yo, morning, Jason in chat. Good morning to you, my man, Dave Augustine. Shout out to Kenny Esposito. He says, let's come down a little bit and then pump. Yeah. Shout out to Oxygen who says, yes. Yes. And guys, by the way, if we can get 1,000 likes within the first 30 minutes, we'll be giving away $1,000. Make sure to like the stream. I do want to do a $1,000 giveaway today. We are down to the wire. The Bitcoin price is on fire. Shout out to Slums who says, God bless. Shout out to Assad. He says it's a big bearish dip. Millennial Crypto Investing says about to wreck shorts. Holding price up. Waiting for a bounce on the ES to move back up. Shout out to Millennial Crypto Trading. Shout out to FitGenius618 who says divergences are diverging. Yes, indeed. Well, guys, the Bitcoin price action, as many of us know, has been respecting these Fibonacci golden pockets like crazy. All right, this price action is spicier than, well, a whole bowl of jalapeno peppers. Good for the heart and high in fiber. Now, here's the thing. The Bitcoin price, as we've been trading within this bit of consolidation, we have been respecting these Fibonacci golden pockets, guys. We have really been respecting these golden pockets. First of all, when you pull the fib from this low, to the first high that we made here. We come down to none other than the Fibonacci Golden Pocket retracement. This is the move. All right, setups, by the way, for this move from that Golden Pocket, given in advance in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we've been pretty much giving every single along the way up here, or at least giving the zone in general, because I have myself not caught all of these bottoms, but we've been giving these setups, and currently right now, if we pull a fib from the low to the high, we are bouncing from the Fibonacci Golden Pocket as well. All right. Now, unfortunately, we have come up into none other than the Fibonacci Golden Pocket, and we're getting a little bit of a rejection here, guys. Okay. So we're going from fib to fib to fib, support, resistance, support, resistance. Why? Why is it trading like this? Well, the Fibonacci Golden Pocket, the 618 Fibonacci level, is in fact a girl. Her name is 618. She was my high school crush. I had a huge thing for this chick. I thought 618 and me are going to get married. We're going to get matching Bitcoin tattoos on our hands and on our neck, and we're going to live happily ever after off our meme coin gains. But when I asked her on a date, guys, guess what? She gave me the hand of rejection. She gave me the face. Jason, I don't like you like that. Jason, I like you kind of like a brother. She gave me the pixelated nose holes, the hair. Ouch. Look at what it did to your boy. And look, the rejection. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Because the 618 is not looking to date us, but she still wants to be friends, she will be there for us to offer support when our heart is broken, because we will never have a girlfriend ever in our life. It's really hard for me, guys, alright? But you know what gets me over the fact that I will never have love in my life is the fact that I know that even if Bitcoin keeps dumping, we, although having been rejected from the 618, are coming down to the 618 where she will offer a shoulder to cry on and say, Jason, someday you will find love. Now, remember, why am I in the friend zone? It's because girls don't like nice guys like your boy. They like criminals, like this man down here. His name is Samuel Bankman Fried. Okay, Samuel Bankman Fried. Now, notice something about Sam Bankman Fried's man boobs. Crooked, uneven, and upside down. This is very important because if we take a look here at market Cipher B and we pull the fib from the high to the low, we can see that as we're coming to the 618 and we're saying, 618, will you be my girlfriend? When we take a look down here at market Cipher B, what are we actually seeing? We are seeing something called a bearish divergence. The money flow is getting lower over time. All right. The momentum waves are getting lower over time. This is known as the upside down bearish Sam Bankman Fried man boob pattern. In fact, would you look at this? If we take the man anatomy and we superimpose it onto the chart and drag it, wow, it matches perfectly. Okay. Now here's the thing, guys. We have a perfect storm of confluence. What is the perfect storm of confluence? As we're coming down to support, where 618 is waiting there to give us the shoulder to cry on, we know that Sam Bankman-Fried is now in jail. All right? He is no longer available to steal our chick. All right? Him and 618 are over. Now it's just him and this guy forever. Now, as we come down to this key zone of support, what else are we seeing here? Well, I'll tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that when we yesterday came down to this zone right over here, right? We made a nice bottom at the Fibonacci Golden Pocket. We did so while we were printing a pattern known as the uneven butt cheek pattern. The uneven butt cheek pattern is where the price is getting lower as the oscillator market Cipher B is getting higher over time. We can clearly see if we superimpose once again the anatomy onto the chart that it lines up perfectly. This is known as a bullish divergence. All right, now when you have a bullish divergence, and you start to change market structure by making a higher high, which we did by taking out these highs, we made a higher high, then you look for a higher low to come in right at that key zone of support. Now, when you come down to that key zone of support, you're also looking for continuation on market Cipher B like this, a nice trigger wave right here to form. And you're also looking for potentially bullish divergences locally. Now, as we're coming down here, I do see bullish divergences locally here. I see the money flow continuing to get thicker here. And so I do think that there's a chance, because Sam Bankman-Fried is in jail and because of the fact that we know 618 is going to be there for support, that we could see a nice bounce from this zone right here between the golden pocket, the 786, and we do have some other things here. For example, if we take a look at all the volume that traded right here, well, we have a very high volume node that comes in right around the same area, right? We have a very high volume node that comes in right around the same area, right? Did my trading view just glitch out? What the heck? Did I just lose everything on my chart? Oh, I blinded. We have a very nice confluence down here, right? There's multiple things right here that show us, look, this is kind of an important level here, right? We have a lot of intersectionality, right? Everything's intersecting, intersectionality. Major shout out to my fat, white, ambiguously gendered college students majoring in trans, non-carbon, binary emission gender studies with a minor in intersectionality. In fact, this is a picture of me when I graduated college with my degree in trans, non-carbon, binary emission gender studies with a minor of intersectionality, which is what led me into trading, because believe it or not, even with such a degree, a master's degree, 12, 13, 14 years of college, I still couldn't get a job with that degree. Mind-blowing. So I had to figure out a way to pay off all the hundreds of thousands of dollars of student debt, which led me into trading. And thankfully, I knew a lot about intersectionality, and so I was able to actually start doing this, and it's been pretty nice, man. It's been pretty dang nice. All right. So as long as we don't lose this Fibonacci golden pocket, I'm still looking for higher prices to come on Bitcoin. All right, I'll just be honest with you. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm feeling a little bit bullish today. I'm feeling a little bit bullish today. All right. I'm feeling a little bit bullish today. We will see what happens here. All right, we will see what happens here. But so far, I think this is looking pretty healthy. I don't think there's anything necessarily unhealthy yet about what's happening here locally. All right? And I know. Look, I understand what some people are thinking. They're thinking, Jason, we have ourselves right here a nice head and a nice man bun on a bearish Gareth Salloway man bun pattern. I know what you're thinking, okay? But, you know, look, dude, look. There's a few different ways to look at this, all right? You could look at this bearish, and I get that. But for me right now, I like this bottom from yesterday. I think it looks pretty nice, and I would love to see something like this. And so I'm hanging on for hope. All right, I'm hanging on for hope right now as this price action is getting spicy. All right, we are going to take a look at what is happening very locally. All right, come back over to good old trading view here and take a good look and see. The one thing I do see, and here's one thing I see, is the fact that we have over 1,000 people watching and only 300 likes, which tells me that you guys don't want to win $1,000. I'm just trying to give away $1,000 over here. That's all, man. Just $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's been a very profitable few months for me. All right. Very profitable. So I want to share. I want to share the gains, guys. I want to share the gains. All right. So let's put on some key levels here. So first of all, we have to understand that we are right now trading below the weekly VWAP and below the daily VWAP, which is something known as not good. All right. Something known as not good. And I do have to say that as so long as we are under these areas, I do expect some more downside. So let's see if we don't get a move down into this box here. I'm going to set a little bit of an alert. I'm going to set a little bit of an alert here. And we do have to get a more macro perspective, all right? We need to paint a little bit of a picture here and get a little bit more of a macro perspective, right? We don't want to get too excited too soon, all right? Getting too excited too soon is never a good idea. So let's head on over to none other than the weekly time frame here. Because this is where we really need to get our overall context, right? What is the context? The Bitcoin halving is coming up literally, I guess in about a week, you know, a little bit more than a week, right? Bitcoin halving coming up a little bit more than a week. That's the white line. Now, what do we know about halvings? In and around the halving tends to be some volatility. In fact, let's go back to the Bitcoin all-time index and take a look at what happens around the Bitcoin halving. Now, the white lines represent the halving, right? So we could go back to the inception of Bitcoin and see that when the halving happens, bam, big move to the upside. Now look at this, all right? Once again, the halving happens, bam, big move to the upside. Now I want to show you something because we tend to get a pullback typically before, but in one instance after the halving, right? So after the halving happened, we actually did end up getting about a over a 30% pullback back here in 2016. All right, and then of course in the last cycle before the halving, we got that pullback of about, I mean, including the white swan, almost 70%. But in general, if we don't include the white swan, it was about 40%, right? And my theory here is that we are not out of the woods with the big one. The big one. What is the big one that I'm speaking of? It's the pullback that happens every bull market. There's always a very large pullback that happens before the big pump. It happens pretty much every time. And I was thinking it was going to happen over here back in January 2024. I shorted this, as many of you know. Setup was given in advance. We made a lot of money on the trade, but I was expecting a 40% pullback. We only got a 20% pullback. In hindsight, it looks like nothing. That's what you have to realize about these pullbacks, right? It was a 25% pullback. In hindsight, it looks like nada. But in the moment, guys, these pullbacks can be quite significant. And so here's what I'm thinking. Based on the weekly time frame, having printed a red dot here, I would not be surprised if we see a bit more downside eventually before we get another bigger move up. And the reason I say that is for two reasons. Number one, we have a weekly red dot. Number two, we have bearish divergences on the daily time frame. Number three, we are consolidating like a wild woman in distress, running through the wilderness with a laundry basket on her head, which typically means the Bitcoin price is getting ready to make another move. And number four, we are clearly trading within a sideways range in what some could even consider to be a triangle, right? Some could consider this to be a triangle like this. And so what this typically means to me, guys, is we are going to wreck a lot of longs, wreck a lot of shorts, and eventually we are going to take out the liquidity that's lying at the top of the range and the liquidity that's lying at the bottom of the range before another big move. And so overall, you know, I am not expecting major moves on Bitcoin anytime soon, to be totally frank with you, to use that term frank. I'm expecting, to be totally honest, probably a push up and then a big move down, and maybe even coming down to the low 50s, high 40s to freak everybody out before massive move to over $80,000, close to $100,000 and beyond. That's really what I'm expecting here. And honestly, this is what I'm hoping for, because this would get us an amazing opportunity to get into a long trade on Bitcoin. And look, this is a free trading plan that I'm giving out, but we have a really nice order block here at around $50,000 on the weekly time frame. And it lines up perfectly, guys, with this major support resistance flip that goes all the way back to essentially the last bull market, right? September 2021, February 2021. This white line of the low 40s, the low 50s, high 40s. Look at how beautiful of a breakout and retest that would actually be. And, you know, just to be honest as well, if we're going to look at this as a triangle, now I don't usually trade triangles, but if we're going to be looking at this as a triangle, our breakdown target is basically essentially coming right to that zone, right? So this is the place where I think the next major opportunity for the bull market lies, right around this area here, where we could take it up to much higher targets, which this could be the next big swing trade of the bull market, right? So that's my overall thoughts on Bitcoin right now as far as the macro goes. As far as the micro goes, we do need to be prepared, because this price action is getting more difficult to trade as we are consolidating, because when you consolidate, you are not going to get those high time frame massive signals, right? We are not going to get the massive long signal that we got from here when we're trading in this tiny little consolidation, right? But in general, if you're a trader, what are the places that you need to be aware of? We need to be aware of where are the stop losses? What is going to wreck the most people? Because if you identify where the most people are going to be wrecked, then you can identify where the best trades are to take. For example, most of the traders were going to get wrecked if we took out the liquidity, the stop losses that lied above these highs, as well as got a fake out of the triangle. Now, I made a video about this on Sunday when Bitcoin was still trading here, saying that the most probable thing to happen is that we take out these highs, and if we don't hold above the trend line, then we're going to get a move back down, right? And that is pretty much exactly what did happen. This is how I was able to get into the short trade from that high, right? Because that's exactly what happened. And now we are short, right? What is going to wreck the most people? That's what we need to be thinking about. So on the way down, what is going to wreck the most people? Well, for me, whenever you see a nice swing low, you can understand that stop losses are below there. For me right now, the juiciest area to look for people getting wrecked is going to be right down here, right around $64,000. Why 64,000? Well, because everybody who's been long for the past few days since Tuesday, the 2nd of April, all right, so really for the past week, everybody who's been long, they're expecting a breakout, they're expecting a new high, their stop losses are going to be under here, right? And so if we get to move back down and take out those lows, what do we have down here? Well, we have the trend line of this triangle that's been respected twice. In addition to that, we have ourselves a nice zone in between the Fibonacci golden pocket and the 786. Again, remember, she's not going to date you, but she will be there to offer support. 6 Juanita and the 786 fib. Here's a picture of the 786 fib, her older sister. Will be there to offer you support. All right, no one's getting through this chick. You think a few candles are going to get through this chick? Heck no, man. She's going to beat you up with her man beard. All right? You've heard of the man bun pattern. This is the man beard pattern. Now, that is the first area that I'm really going to be looking out for locally here for Bitcoin. If we do not find a bounce at the bottom of that trend line, then we do need to be prepared for a move all the way down below $60,000, because again, this triangle is forming within a sideways range with our clearly defined low right here at $60,000 and our clearly defined high right here at about $74,000. So to clear out all the noise, guys, right? To clear out all the noise, these are the areas that we should be most interested in looking at. Right around here, and then of course, right around here at this high, right? This will keep us from getting chopped up if we are waiting for those key highs and those key lows to be looking for our bullish and bearish divergences, all right? And as we are squeezing together, we can also see market Cipher B squeezing together, right? The oscillator in general is making lower highs and it's making higher lows, right? This is consolidation, and this thing is going to eventually break, and my thoughts is it's going to eventually break to the downside after potentially giving us one last fake out to the upside. One more thing that we do need to keep in mind here is the fact that on the CME futures chart, we have some unfilled gaps below. All right? Actually, that's not true. I think we filled this gap, basically. We consider this gap filled. This gap yesterday was filled, and that's what gave us the bounce. But below that, we have a gap at $64,000. Again, remember, stop loss is under this low. Coming down to the trend line, we also have an unfilled CME gap there at about $64,000. So there is a lot of intersectionality down there at 64K, right? We've got the trend line of the triangle. We've got ourselves the Fibonacci golden pocket 786. We've got ourselves the CME gap. You know, lots of intersectionality. You know, shout out once again to all my fat, white, ambiguously gendered college students majoring in trans, non-carbon, binary, emission, gender, intersectionality studies. All right? Good for you guys out there with your degrees, ready to change the world with your ideologies, because you went to college and now you know everything. Congratulations. I wish I was on your level. I wish I was on your level. All right. I want to take a look at ETH. All right, guys, ETH right now also trading in a local range. And for ETH, I'd say that it's just like Bitcoin. It's just like Bitcoin, where we have a clearly defined high. In fact, let's clean up the chart just a smidgen. Just a smidge, Meister. Yeah, so all right, so yeah, we're trading within a sideways range right here. We're rejecting from the 786 fib, and for me, ETH, same as Bitcoin, right? a move down to the lows here is going to be a place to be looking for potential longs. Just like Bitcoin is going to be looking for longs at the low of this range, and then the high of the range would be a place to be looking for potential shorts. But again, because I feel like a larger pullback could be coming, I would be prepared on ETH if we're going to get a big move to the downside. Where would I really be interested in getting ETH on spot? Well, the context right now is that we have broken out of this massive ascending triangle pattern, which is a bullish pattern. If we go ahead and pull the fib from the last low to the high, you can see the Fibonacci golden pocket is coming right around this previous zone. We could pull the fib from the low to the high and see that the golden pocket is literally right on the retest of this trend line. But in general, for me, I would say that I would be interested in a very nice juicy swing long trade from ETH from like 2,700 down to around 2,400. To me, this is analogous to Bitcoin's high 40s, low 50s. Why? Why? Because it's a major support resistance flip. This level right here at around 2350 is the high volume node of this last major bull market range. And we can see that it's also the high volume node of this mini consolidation before the big break. And this is a pretty significant move to the downside. Don't get me wrong. We're talking about 33, 34%. So look, if we're going to be getting the big one for Bitcoin and the big one for ETH, in my opinion, these are going to be the places that are going to be the major move of the market, where we could be looking for a $5,000 to $7,000 ETH, right? This could be the major move for ETH for this bull market. Is it definitely guaranteed to happen? Of course not, guys. Of course not. But if we don't prepare, then we're not going to be ready when it does happen, right? If we don't prepare, we're not going to be ready when it does happen. That's very, very key for me. The way I get into my juicy trades is by being prepared and having a plan, so that when things go wrong to your average person who's freaking out, selling the bottom, I already know this is the opportunity of the bull run. This is the last chance I have to make amazing gains at a really good risk to reward ratio. All right, let's check out Solana. All right, Solana, would you look at that? Okay, would you look at this, guys? Solana bouncing from our box. Is that not crazy? Is that not crazy? This is the box that we've been looking at now on Solana ever since probably the end of March, saying that what we want to see on Solana is a fake out of the triangle into our box for the bounce. And we are currently getting that right now on Solana. A best case scenario for me right now on Solana is another little drive to the downside here with a continued bullish divergence on the 4 hour. That would be an amazing signal right there. If we get bullish div on the 4 hour, the good old uneven butt cheek pattern on Solana, we're going to go ahead and pull our cheeks, right? Pull the cheeks and put them onto the chart. Yeah, that's what we would want to see. Let's increase the opacity here. All right. We like our cheeks to be opaque. We don't want them translucent. Translucent cheeks don't get you anywhere in life. The opacity must be perfect. Yeah, so I would be very interested in another dip into the box with some bullish divs here. But again, these triangles exist to wreck everybody. They exist to wreck everybody. My next major target on Sol is going to be $260. That's the all-time high. And yeah, honestly, sky's the limit for Sol. It's absolutely amazing when we take a look at how Sol has outperformed, how much it's outperformed Bitcoin, right? 500%. It's outperformed Bitcoin by 500%. It's absolutely crazy. 532%. Sol outperforming Bitcoin. When you compare that to ETH, it seems like Sol is going to be the star of the show. I'm not saying ETH isn't going to pump. I know it will, but look at this. I mean, since June, we've had 500% on, Bitcoin has been outperforming ETH since June, right? Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. The ETH has gone down 32% against Bitcoin since June, while Sol has gone up 500% against Bitcoin since June. So if you had one Bitcoin and you put into Sol in June, well, you just made yourself 5 Bitcoins, which is absolutely corny. That's so crazy, it's corny, man. So crazy that it's corny. All right. Got the old pencil neck Market Cipher mug. Got the old Pikachu hat. Got the old plunger. Alright, you cannot trade without a plunger. And here's a quick reminder, guys. This is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. Alright, this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. But, yeah, this is just a guy on the internet with a plunger on the face. Peter Schiff says, the halving is a scam. LOL. Good old Peter Schiff. I love Peter Schiff. He's a good guy. Shout out to Brock Landers. Thank you for the super chat. Brock Landers says, hey Jay, as a scalp, possible short-term swing trade based on Market Cipher B. Do you think WLD can hit a new high before heading lower? Let's check out WLD USDT. Well, let's take a look at the daily here. Yeah, it's possible. Like, it's the same as all these other coins right now. We're consolidating in these sideways ranges. So if we can identify this as the high of the range, and this is the low of the range, then I would say it wouldn't be surprising if we do this, and then we do this, and then do something like that, you know? It would not surprise me. Based on all things considered right now, it could give us a nice bull dip on the daily, which could give us to a liquidity grab of the highs. All right, major shout out to you. Thank you so much for the super chat, Brock Landers. Let's check out how Bitcoin's doing. All right. All right, huge shout out to the super chats in the house. God bless you all. Thank you so much. To Brock Landers, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. All right, so Bitcoin right now, as you can see, is kind of, yeah, we've rejected from the Fibonacci. Let's pull up Market Cipher. Let's see how she's looking. Let's do some low time frame analysis here on Bitcoin. I'll be honest with you, I don't like the look of the 6-minute right now on Bitcoin. 6-minute right now on Bitcoin is looking like money flows coming out. How's our 12-minute? 12-minute also looking like money flows coming out here. Not the best look for Bitcoin right now. Not the best look for Bitcoin right now. Let's check out EXO charts. All right, so we haven't really had any CBD divergences here. If anything, yeah, we've had really no CBD divergences here. We did get some bearish CBD up in here in this zone a little bit on a decrease of OI, however. Yeah, nothing really to write home about, guys. Like, I would send my mom a text. I definitely wouldn't write home and say, hey, Ma, let me tell you about this CBD. All right? I would not tell her about that. Shout out to Joel H. He says, can you check Chainlink? Yeah, we can check Chainlink. All right, shout out to Dano Crypto. Yeah, let's check out Chainlink. All right, good old Chainlink. Good old Chainlink. Let's remove all this stuff here. So look, Chainlink right now is holding a major support resistance flip. And I would say that as long as we hold $16, that is objectively speaking bullish. And I would also say that right now locally, Chainlink is not looking so bearish. On the 4-hour, we are seeing the momentum waves getting higher and the money flow also getting higher after printing a nice divergence right here, okay? So to me, I would be quite interested in potentially looking for a Chainlink long if we get another push toward the lows. Honestly, I would. I would, back to the top of this range. If we zoom out on Chainlink, we can see that this Casper crew level, which was a short level that we gave in the Casper crew, which made for a really nice short, by the way. The first tap of the Casper crew level, as you can see, back here in November, we tapped into the level to the dang dollar, and that gave us a pullback of 22%. Isn't that crazy? Talk about counter scalping the trend. That's what one of my specialties, to be honest with you. Yeah, so this is none other than the value area low of this old bull market range. So now that we're back inside the range, holding what used to be resistance as support, in my opinion, the probabilities are more upside is possible to around a $32 chain link, right? We are seeing bullish divergences form as we come down to this key zone support for a retest. Money flow is coming into the asset. Yeah, money flow is coming into the asset here. Divergences are forming here. It's looking pretty nice for a potential another move back up to the top of the range. So yeah, that's what I think about Chainlink. But at the end of the day, we're also trading within this sideways range. So if we do take a long from the low of the range, which is where we should be looking for longs, right? We should be looking for longs here. Chainlink loves to range. Look at this, range, the famous range on Chainlink that lasted for the entire bear market. I mean, literally range. Chainlink loves to range. So yeah, it makes sense. We should be looking for longs and getting bullish at the bottom here, looking for a move back to the upside. To the upside. The upside. Yeah, we should be getting bullish, looking for a move to the upside. And if we do get a move to the upside, then we're looking at that $30 chain link, right? The reason we are is because we are understanding that we are back now inside of this old range. And old ranges, once lost, once you come back inside, then you start to trade them again, right? So look at how this old area of support was respected as resistance, flipped into support. So we then expect to move up to this area of resistance, right here. And then we expect to move up higher to this area of resistance also right here. Resistance, support, you know? All right, Bitcoin dumping. Oh my goodness. All right, Bitcoin is taking a dump, guys. And again, you know, I've got it on the line, baby. Or I've got it on the line. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. He says Ford stock. Let's check out Ford stock. Bitcoin about to go pump it up. I hope it's right. I hope you're right knowing his power. All right, shout out to Matthew, All In, Cedric, Rokobo. What's going on, my man? God bless you. Shout out to Gerald Lemon Tagne. He says, what's up, y'all? Shout out to Dave Digital, holding it down with the wrench. Should I ask the owners at work to stop bringing donuts to meetings and start bringing steak and eggs because I identify as healthy? Yeah, man, and if they don't do it, that's racism and discrimination and health phobic, I guess. So, you know, I'll have to bring, I'll get some of my friends to come protest outside of your office building, all right? Dave Digital. I'll help you out, man. 007 Nev is long right now. I'm long right now too, man. You know, I'm in a long, baby. Long and strong. Let's get it. All right? Let's get it. Sushant wants to dump until 59,600. Yeah, bro. I mean, you think that's going to happen today? It could. Like, it really could. I'll be honest with you. Am I expecting it? I'm not really expecting it, but it could. All right, let's check out Ford stock for my man, J-Boy Bullish. Really? Ford Motor Co. Looks pretty. Is it pumping? What's it doing? It looks like it's down a little bit the past few days. Looks like it gapped down quite a bit here. Cool, man. Nice. Good old Ford stock. Man, look at this thing. Look at this crazy looking triangle. I bet you a lot of people got wrecked trading that. All right, Bitcoin taking a tumble. Bitcoin taking a tad bit of a tumble. Tumbling downtown. Bitcoin tumbling. All right. Bitcoin looking for 66. 66? Oh my goodness, Bitcoin, please say it ain't so. Come on, Bitcoin, don't do this to me. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish with the super chat. Ford was just a joke. Thanks, J-Boy Bullish, for the clarification, man. I appreciate you. God bless you, bro. God bless you, bro. All right. All right, so we got to watch this Bitcoin price as she's taking a tumble. Again, this box must not be lost at all cost. We cannot lose the box at all cost, guys. If we lose the box, Jason Casper will cry. He will cry. I will cry and be very sad. I've been getting hit with copyright strikes lately from the same old music that I use. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? All right, we're struggling with this blue candle here. Let's go to the order flow and see what's going on in the momente. In the moment. Okay, so look, I mean, nothing really to write home about. Open interest is flat. This is the box we don't want to lose here. Come on, Bitcoin. It would be interesting to get a move to the box. All right, the momente, is that Italian? Yeah, something like that, man. Gerald uses chill hop music to prevent that. Shout out to Joe Folan. Bitcoin looks very strong. Shout out to Jay Coffee, says Bronco. Shout out to Wogme Trading. Dang, it's quiet without the music. We do got some music. We got some music in here. Shout out to my man, Divine Hood, says, I don't like how we stalled so much at that golden pocket last night. I noticed the big range value area high as well, but I only expected a small pullback. Yeah, this is not a good look for Bitcoin right now. Would I compound in the box? Yes, I plan to. All right. Dano Crypto says, we're bouncing, my dude. Today, we'll freaking surprise people today. I hope you're right, man. Bring back the man bun chart. Shout out to Bayu BY ZRX. I never heard of ZRX. Is that a new meme coin? Shout out to Roman from Ukraine. All right. Here we go. Bitcoin about to take a moment to dump down to the box. And when we do, are we gonna bounce? Or are we gonna dump? Yo. Yeah. Yo. Yeah. Bitcoin, let me take a moment as we sit and watch the price start to foment. As we come right down to the box, the price hits the spot, trap the bears down below, and then we start to pop up. Now we got a little bit blue candle, price coming down a little more than you can handle. Hope that you got an extra pair of sandals, walking extra miles. Bitcoin about to flare the mantle. And as we're coming down lower, the Bitcoin price about to pump. Let me show ya. We made a nice low yesterday. Gotta pump up to the top. We come back, hooray, to the golden pocket retrace. Price about to brace every day. Looking outside the window like I'm racing. Going fast when the price about to blast. Got 22K in the trade at last. But 200K still open in the position. Bitcoin about to go on a mission. As it's pumping to the sky, we got the blue candles about to pump straight into your eyes. Yeah, we got the candle turning out. Bitcoin price turning up then turning down. Got the Pikachu hat on my head about that. Got the plunger on my face. Give it a nice pat, yo. J. Casper, what a disgrace. He's got the Pikachu hat all over the place with the market Cipher mug chilling up on his face. Hope you don't get hurt, best you better embrace it, All right. I think we're gonna get the bounce, guys. I do, I think we're gonna get the bounce. We're gonna get a bounce. Let's wait for the box. Yeah, I think we're going to get a bounce, guys. Let's wait for that box, all right? Shout out to Mijot from the toilet. Shout out to you from the toilet. Matthew says, I think impact news for tomorrow. Banks and companies releasing their earnings. We'll have to see. Tomorrow's a Friday. All right. Shout out to Riley O'Brien Powell. What did it mean when you said there's a massive order block around 50K on the weekly? Is that the same as a weekly candle? Yeah, so basically what that is an order block is, yes, it's basically a weekly candle. So here's what an order block is. All right, now people are going to say, Jason, that's not an order block. All right, whatever. To me, an order block is when you have lots of candles in one direction, and then all of a sudden you have a candle that stands out from the pack, right? The black sheep of the herd, so to speak, right? This is an order block, all right? And what it basically means is that there's volume here, right? And it's really nice, especially when you have a candle like this above it, right? You have a big old candle like this with a big old space that can be easily filled by the price. And then you have a last area where price found consolidation. And it also just so happens to be a support resistance flip going all the way back to around 2021. That's what I mean by a weekly order block. So we have a few of those around. Here's one, right? As well. And technically speaking, this could be considered one as well here. But look, like I said, there's going to be people saying, Jason, that's not an order block, whatever. I don't know then what it is, all right? I'm an idiot. Pikachu hat, don't know what I'm doing, all right? That's fine. But that's how I consider it to be, all right? But, you know, I talk about things and people love to say that's not what it is. Okay, fine. You do it your way, and I'll do it my way, you know? You do it your way, and I'll do it my way. Do it your way, and I'll do it my way. Bitcoin pumping, about to hit the highway. As we're coming down to the support, got the order block looking like I'm coming through the door. But hey, guess what's next? The Bitcoin price looking like it wants to flex on the bears in the house. Chilling on the couch, potato chips all day, being a slouch. Hey, get up, my man, hit the gym. Start doing push-ups, better get it in, because you don't want to be so weak. With the price on fleek, trading Bitcoin coming to the weekly order block. Jason, that's not what it is. Hey man, shut up. Mind your own biz. I'll call it what I want when the price hits the spot. Gonna enter a swing trade and long it to the top. Here we go, got the plunger on the face. I don't care, you could say I'm such a disgrace. Plunge in the face every single day. Only use the plunger twice in the toilet bowl, baby. It's all good, it smells like poo. Doesn't matter, cause I still know what to do. When the price is going down, then I plunge it back up. Hopefully I do not spill all the coffee in my cup. Here we go, a nice blue candle. Bitcoin about to pump, hope that you get a handle when we're making higher lows and we're making higher highs, and the market structure bullish and the price about to fly. Yeah. You know? Shout out to J-Boy Bullish, open the window to take a whiz. All right. Shout out to my man Dano Crypto sitting on the toilet. Appreciate you, Dano Crypto. Curling in the squat rack. Shout out to I Show You. All right. Shout out to TDS Gamer Shalom, my man. Shout out to Trader Ray. My life would be complete if I got a shout out. Well, shout out to you, my man Trader Ray. I appreciate you, bro. God bless you. Yeah, we don't want to be curling in a squat rack. All right. Yeah, no curling in the squat rack. Man, I want to watch this Bitcoin price play out. You know, I've had a problem here all week. We've been waiting for a big move, and it has not happened. It has not happened. All right, shout out to Weeby TV. Weeby TV. All right. Weeby TV. Weeby TV. Weeby TV. Weeby TV. Weeby TV. Yeah, let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash. Pumping, baby. So we've got ourselves, in my opinion, a very, very nice bottom here. Right? Bullish divergence into a nice trigger wave, into a nice change of market structure, into a nice support resistance flip retest perfectly to the dang dollar. All right? Let's outline what's happened here. We had ourselves a bullish divergence into this low. Right? Hang on. Let me turn off my dang magnet tool. We had a nice bullish div into the low. Then we had a nice trigger wave right here giving us a higher low. And then we had a big breakout. And then we had a retest to the dollar of the breakout. And now we are coming back to an area of resistance. So let's pull this. Yeah, so now we are currently right now above the value area high of this old range. Looking quite bullish. We have a red dot on the weekly, so my instinct would be to look for a pullback if you're not in Bitcoin Cash. I am not. I don't even plan to be. But yeah, look, Bitcoin Cash acting crazy. I'll never forget when I first got my Bitcoin Cash. Let's see. Let's go to Coinbase, I guess. When did I get my Bitcoin Cash? Right when it first came out, I guess. In the summer of 2017. And I sold it, baby. I sold it right away. Immediately, I sold that Bitcoin Cash as soon as I could. You know, it was free money. I had all my Bitcoin stacked. I was ready to buy a dang house. All right. I'll tell you, I sold that Bitcoin Cash and bought myself some Bitcoin. I'm not even ashamed of it. Even if Bitcoin Cash ends up going to $500 million. Interesting, guys. Would you look at this? Okay, so yeah, I say Bitcoin Cash is probably poised right now for a move that surprises a lot of people because we haven't been paying attention to Bitcoin Cash for a while, since the fork. You guys remember that fork? Man, if you were in the crypto space during that fork, put a 1 in the chat because I know a lot of people are new. All right? Shout out to Dano Crypto. He's going to be live in 15 minutes on his channel. Roger bought all my BCH, probably. All right. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a nice move on Bitcoin Cash. Let's go ahead and pull a fib from local high to low. This is like all history for Bitcoin Cash here. Yeah, I mean, it would look pretty nice if we... Let's pull this. I mean, most of the volume is way below. I don't know where I want to get in, right? I don't know where I would want to get in. I would say, like, just the only thing I have here is fibs. This looks like a nice support resistance flip to get in on, honestly. If we get a pullback to around 350, to around 350. Shout out to Thorsten Toshke. Don't be surprised when Ethereum Classic blows doors off this market. Yeah, that's true. Ethereum Classic, man. Man, we come a far long way. We've come a long way in this crypto space, man. It's wild. It's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride. A lot of you guys here remember when Bitcoin had the fork. That's crazy. Crazy times, guys. Shout out to Dano Crypto. He says Casper Crew is the best crew. Shout out to 19 Imperial 88. He says, Jason, your sessions on crypto are $400. Is there a chance for a refund if the package is not satisfying? Yeah, man. If you want a refund, yeah, I'll refund you, man. If you think it's not worth it, I'll refund you, man. Shout out to you, Imperial 88. Opinions on Tia. Shout out to Crypto Nauti. Yeah, let's take a look at Tia. All right. Tia, which is Celestia, I guess, right? Is that Celestia? Well. Tia dumping, man. Looks pretty bearish, too. Yeah, Tia dumping looks bearish, too. Yo. Tia dumping looks bearish too, but let me come to the chart. What will I do? We're gonna draw some lines of support and resistance. Looking for the long trade, about to go the distance. Here we go, about to mark out liquidity down below. Let me just take a see. Got a wick coming down really quick. Back to support, maybe we will flick it back up. Here we go, got some coffee in my cup. Give me energy every day when I'm looking up. If we come down, we could Bart Simpson. Tia coming down, about to go in, yo. Here we come back down to the low. Got some more liquidity right out below. I don't know, not liking the money flow. Got some bullish div on the 4 hour, what do you know? First thing, we gotta pull the range. Fixed indicator, let me explain. Take it through the range so we can see where the volume came in from traders like you and me. As you can see, we're below POC. Every day, if you know what I mean. Coming down below the val, looking pretty swell. Looks like it could drop a little while. Yeah, pulling the fib. If it comes down, let me take a swib. We got a little range right here. If we come down, it could be so dear to your heart. Entering a nice long right from the start. If you see it looking like a nice heart. Got some volume chilling right here. Come here, listen to me, my dear. Blue and purple chart candles looking kind of queer. Don't mean it that way, hope you're not feeling like a fear. Don't even know what I'm saying now, it's okay, cause the price is about to go up, wow. All right, so, you know, all that to say, this is not really, I don't know what to think about Tia right now. I was thinking we were gonna get a pump, but look, here's the thing. We do have liquidity down here as we come to these lows. I would say that for me, I would say, and this is not financial advice, the chart looks bearish. But this to me definitely could be a zone of major support holding. If not, then I would be really interested in this support resistance flip. But this is really where the support is right now, in my opinion. I mean, we've got the liquidity. down below here, and we've got the volume coming in right here. That's all we've really got. That's all we've really got right now as support. But the daily money flow looks like absolute garbage. So I can't say that I'd be excited to long this. All I can say is that if we're going to find support, it's going to be from this box here, you know? That's all I could really say. You know? Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. He took the course when it was YouTube live streams. What do you think, J-Boy Bullish? Was it worth the money? Yes or no? Be honest, bro. Be honest. I won't get offended. I won't get offended. If you don't think it's worth the money, I won't get offended, J-Boy Bullish. Let me know, bro. Let me know. All right. Shout out to Daniel Crypto. God bless you, bro. God bless you. Whoa. That's legit. Crypto Crank made $500,000 off BitConnect. That's insane, man. All right. Shout out to Crypto Coons holding it down with a wrench. Let's check out Bitcoin now. Man, just doing nothing. I want a big move during one of these streams, guys. The only reason I stream on YouTube is to catch the big moves live. We did catch an all-time high once on Bitcoin. That was nice. J-Boy Bullish says, come on, bro. You know I do. I'm still here after 3 years. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Kenny Esposito says it was worth every penny. Uh-oh. Can says, Jason, please, brother, lend me your plunger. I'm having breathing problems. That Bitcoin is not dumping. The water is coming up on the toilet bowl, about to overflow. All right. Shout out to Heisenberg. The live streams are the reason that he got into trading. That's what's up. That is what's up. Why did I not short yesterday, Ben? I thought we were coming higher, Ben. I know you were bearish yesterday, but we pumped like crazy from where you were bearish. You were bearish down here, man. This was our stream yesterday. But the reason I didn't short 71K is really for two reasons. Number one, although we did have a short signal entry here because of a CDW, I was not at the chart. All right, this is too early for me. I'm still sleeping. And secondly, I was expecting we would come higher. I'll be honest with you. And I'm still expecting we come higher. And thirdly, the reason why I didn't short is because I am in a bullish mindset, man. Maybe that's my own fault. But, you know, I am in a short trade from 72.7. So I consider that a hedge. I'm in a $250,000 short trade from that high. I don't really want to expose myself to more risk. I've already got a nice short open. So for those are the three reasons why I didn't take a fresh short from this zone. But I do acknowledge it was a really good this is a really good short signal. I shorted this because of the equally as good short signal of the liquidity grab with the bearish divergence. You know? That's why. All right. Bitcoin has a 15-minute divergence. Let's check it. It does. Yeah, let's see if we can't get another few drives of divergence here. I would love to just slowly get a drip, drop, drip, drip, drop, drip, bam. Bam. I would like to see lower before higher. You know? Lower before higher. Yo, I wanna see low before we come high. Now sit back, relax, and I'll tell you why. Most of the time, Bitcoin likes to hide behind key levels before we get the move to the upside. Now, we got a golden pocket coming in right here. Now listen to me, my dear, and let my voice sink deep down into your ear as we do some fresh analysis on the chart here. Many times you'll see the price coming down, bullish divergence start to form all around. You take the long, then you get stopped out. Then you take the long, then you get stopped out. Then you take the long, and then you get stopped out. Then you give up for the day and you say I'm out. But then the price comes down to the level you're waiting for. Get a dip down, it blasts off like before. So instead of longing all these little range, wait for your level, don't be in a cage. Come down when you see your reaction. Take the long trade, get into action. Coming down, get another drive of divergence. Bitcoin gonna bounce an emergence. Don't waste your hard-earned money trading levels that are not there. Take care and wait for the golden pocket. A nice retest, made a nice low bullish divergence. Come back for the rest. Hit a high, come down to support. Get a blast up higher even than before with the bullish market structure. Looking like a nupture. Hopefully my guts do not rupture as I'm trading Bitcoin every day. Coming down to the treadmill, trying to get paid, making trades. Here we are in a nice long. The Bitcoin price about to sing this song. Check it out, bruh. I'm still here, about to add. If we come down here, listen to me, dear. Pumping up in your ears. Got the blue candles coming for years. Got the gains upon gains when I'm making the change. Hopefully you don't got pain when you're in the gym ranging. Yeah, so we got both divs, but I know that most of the time, shout out to Caleb, first time here, oh man. So look, I've learned, don't front run your level. If you got a plan, man, stick to your dang plan. It's not worth trying to catch a knife when we got a golden pocket right down below. You know? Don't you know? Don't you know? Alright, we did already check Solana, MKN Gaming. And, you know, I said to myself, Solana is bullish. It's outperforming ETH like crazy. You know, is Sol pumping right now? Let's check it out. We already took a look at Solana. It came down to the box, wick to the dollar. The daily green dot on Sol is probably going to give us a move to the upside. But yeah, Sol is pretty much just... It looks very bullish to me, honestly. It does look bullish to me. Another dip down would be even more bullish, but it does look bullish. Once we reclaim trend line, money flow cross on the hourly could give us another move to the upside. Man, I just want to come down to the dang golden pocket, guys. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on. You can do it. To the golden pocket. Let's get a nice little dumperoni. We want to see it come down. You know? Let's go to our 1 minute. Let's check out the order flow. Decrease of OI. Fast move into the golden pocket. Come on, our purple box. That's what we want. Shout out to Marcus123. Come on, Bitcoin, come on. You got this, come on. Here, bitty, bitty, bitty. Here, bitty, 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 bitty. Let's see what happens. Yeah, someone call up Grayscale and tell them to dump. Shout out to Tattoos and Bulldogs. Man. Shout out to Saeed K from Iran. Can you check out EOS? yeah, we'll check out EOS while we're waiting for Bitcoin to dump. All right. While we wait for the dump, we will check out EOS. EOS. All right, so I'm bullish on EOS, as many of us know. I'm bullish because we have a weekly money flow cross, and we've broken out of this area of resistance here. Rising wedge with a target of about $2. Yeah, about $2. And then once we reclaim $2, you know, we could see EOS come back to the top of the range around $9. Right? That's what I think. Let's pull up the Binance chart. Yeah, I mean, same deal, right? I'd say $2 comes first, and then if we reclaim $2, like the support resistance flip, then $9. But would I buy EOS here? I would not, right? I would have bought EOS on the breakout and retest. That was the opportunity, in my opinion. We came down to the golden pocket retest here, and this was the place to buy. After the breakout, golden pocket retest, and then boom. Right now, I can't say I would buy here, because where would I put my stop? The only way I would buy here, this is a speculative buy. The reason why is because this is our upside, and this is our downside. It's about equal risk and reward right now. I would want to see another bit of a pullback, to be honest with you. So let's pull another fib, see where we can come to now. Yeah, so honestly, if we take out these lows, right, and come back down into this little zone here, this consolidation zone, that to me would be a place I would be interested in buying it if we can get that move down. All right, Bitcoin dumping. Bitcoin dumping. All right, we got mad super chats in here. All right. Shout out to Wagme Trading for the $5 super chat. He says, just want to say good day, legend. God bless you. Big Butts and fam and the Casper crew. God bless you, Wagme Trading. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. Shout out to JGD in a Robert Kennedy Jr. voice. Many blessings to you, Jason. Can you please look at Adam? And may the Almighty bless your endeavors. Shout out to JGD. Yeah, we could look at Adam. Shout out to Crypto Naughty. Opinions on TIA. Yeah, we already checked that out. Do I prefer XRP or Bitcoin? JRW. Is this a joke? Bitcoin all the way, baby. Don't give me none of that XRP. Don't give me none of that XRP. All right, yeah, let's check out Adam. Shout out to Kuhal Kumar. Can we check out CRV? Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Yeah, we could check out CRV after we check out Adam. OJ Simpson died? Oh, is that why you're talking about Ford stock? Well, may him and his family have comfort during this time. I don't know anything about OJ Simpson besides the Ford Bronco. That's all I know, all right? All right, so Cosmos. So I don't like the bottom signals here. I don't like the money flow on the weekly. We broke out of this, what looks to be kind of like a descending channel, which is bullish. But we've come, I don't know. I personally I don't like this chart. I don't like this chart. I don't really like it. I'm not saying it can't pump, but I don't see anything here that's screaming buy now, you know? I don't see anything here that screams buy now. Maybe if we get a retest to the golden pocket. We haven't even changed market structure. That's the thing, like we haven't taken out this high. We haven't taken out this high. We don't have weekly money flow in the blue. Yeah, so look, if we get a move back down to a local golden pocket, then I might be interested. If we come back down to around the $8.75 zone, I might get interested there. All right, we gotta check out CRV from my man with the super chat. All right, so the weekly definitely looks bullish to me with the money flow. We printed a. We haven't really printed a divergence, but we printed a nice bottom. I consider that a nice bottom and a trigger wave with money flow getting higher. CRV. Yeah, I would say this, right? I would, if I was interested in CRV. Now I don't know what CRV is, but I would say this. If I was bullish on CRV, fundamentally, I would start to build a position on it right now. Reason being, we've broken out and retested resistance. Right? So just based on the breakout and the retest, for me, that's good enough for me to say, all right, I will allocate some capital into this, and my general plan would be something like this. Now look, this is not financial advice. I don't know what CRV is. I don't own CRV. I don't plan to buy CRV. All right? I don't plan to buy CRV. But this to me looks like a really nice setup. We have ourselves a sideways range, a clearly defined high, one high, two high, three highs right here. We have ourselves a clearly defined low, one low, two low, three low right here. We got a breakout of resistance with a change of market structure, come back down for the retest. This is a valid trade setup. I don't know anything about this coin, but this is a good risk to reward ratio. 20 times more reward than risk. We're buying low. We're looking to sell high. We have bullish signs on the chart. Looks kind of good. Looks kind of good. Shout out to Little Seeds. Can you check out Myro? Yeah, we could check out Myro. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. He says you grow on rest days. Ain't that the truth, my man? Yeah, you grow on rest days, man. I know this sounds crazy, but I really have had the best gains in my life working out 2 or 3 times a week. I've gotten more jacked working out 2 days a week than I have working out 6 days a week. And I really think it's because of the recovery. Full body twice a week. A heavy day and a volume day. And then on rest days, do your mobility work. Do some band work, some connective tissue work. Work on your hip mobility, your ankle mobility, your thoracic extension. And all this kind of stuff. And yeah, there comes a point where too much can hurt you. Too much can hurt you, in my opinion. What do I know? I don't know anything, guys. I'm not a trader, and I'm not a fitness expert. Why Bitcoin instead of Ripple? Thank you for the super chat. Cause I just like Bitcoin. I don't like XR Pizzle. All right. All right, shout out to my man JRW with all the super chats. Can we look at ORDS? All right, let's check out Myro. It is tempting to work out a lot, I'll tell you, because here's what happens, right? You work out 2 days a week, and then all of a sudden one week, you work out 3 days a week, and you feel great. And you're increasing the volume, and you're like, man, I'm going to start working out 3 days a week now. And then you say, you know what? I'm going to work out 4 days a week, and then 5 days a week. You come up with these splits. Got a squat day, an overhead press day, a deadlift day, a bench day. You build this whole program around it, progressive overload. And it goes great for a while, but then I always burn out. I always burn out doing that. I burn out like crazy. Like, it takes me a few months to burn out, and then I'm burnt out. And then I have to force my body forces me to do a deload. Like I can't even squat heavy. If I'm squatting like 300 for sets of 12, next thing you know, I can't even squat 300 for a set of 5 without feeling like I'm gonna break in half. The body just says, it's too much. Twice a week, man. You're always excited to go into the gym. You always have energy. The recovery's on point. And when I say squat 300, I mean curl 300 reps in the squat rack. You know how we do here. All right, Myro, looking kind of so I'll be honest, we don't have much data here. On the daily, I don't really know what to say besides, let's see what happened here. We got a bounce from the Golden Pocket 786 zone the first time. So let's see if we pull fib from high to low here, low to high, I mean. Yeah, I mean, look, so I don't see anything too like crazy saying, screaming at me to buy. But this zone is a nice zone of support. So if we see lower time frame divergences here, like the 4 hour, giving us nice divs as we come down to this zone, the support resistance flip zone between the Golden Pocket and the 786, that to me is a nice buy zone, right? A very nice level historically, right? Consolidation, breakout, let's come down for the retest. If this is a bullish asset, this is going to hold as support. We look to the upside. All right, ORDS for my man JRW. The reason why I don't consider XRP is because you have to understand, guys, I'm old school in crypto, right? Like XRP is still a new thing. It's a new bank thing. And like I've never taken it seriously. I've just never taken it seriously as an asset to really consider putting like my crypto in. I'm a Bitcoin guy. Right? Most of my spot crypto is Bitcoin. It's always been Bitcoin. It probably will always be Bitcoin. And if I'm looking to make money on altcoins, it's not going to be on Ripple. And I know people hate when I say Ripple. Whatever. I call it Ripple. You don't like it? Whatever, man. Whatever. All right? I don't care. Ripple, XRP, whatever. I don't care. We called it Ripple back in 2016, all right? Or wherever. So to be very honest with you, we do have a pretty bullish looking... Oh wait, no. Okay, yeah, so to be totally honest with you, I would love to see us come down to take these lows again to the 786. We have a really nice level here, right? That would be nice. With bullish divs on the daily, man, that would be too good to be true. But this is what I would want to look for. Yeah, it would be too good to be true, but that is what I would want to look for, guys. You know? That is what I want to look for. Thoughts on reallocating positions down on? What do you mean down on? I'm not sure. Overcome 70 times 7. Yeah, I know. Ripple's been around almost as long as Bitcoin. I know. But it's the mindset back in those days was a little bit different than it is now. All right, Bitcoin was like the champion of cryptocurrencies. It was there to destroy the Federal Reserve and the central banks. And Ripple was there to increase the power of the Federal Reserve and the central banks. And so I've always looked down on it. I have the bad taste in my mouth, all right? Then all this nonsense about whether it's a security or not. J-Boy Bullish says, if you don't want to rest, trend harder. Yeah, Alex Leonidas style. Exactly. Alex Leonidas. Shout out to Alex Leonidas. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly correct. I don't know if he still does that, but that's the way to do it. Jason Ripple Casper. Yep, that's me. Jason Ripple Casper. XRP will have the moment, guys. It's going to pump just like everything else. It's going to pump just like everything else. But there's no way I'm going to put my hard-earned crypto portfolio into Ripple. Heck no, man. I'm not putting it into Ripple. Never would I put my stuff into Ripple. Shout out to Joshua Smith. He says, in this house we say gay and retarded. I mean, you ain't wrong. Have I heard about the charge from the SEC to Uniswap? I haven't really heard about it, Imperial. Shout out to Nur for the super chat. God bless you. Thank you so much. Shout out to Crypto Crank. I hope Bitcoin doesn't pump from here. I really want to hit that box. You think Bitcoin's creating support right now? It could, Matthew. It could be creating support right now. Do we have anything here that I don't know about that would cause us to have support? The only thing I see is potentially like is this. That's pretty much all I see. That liquidity grab right there. You know, formed a local CDW with some nice bull divs. All right, it does look nice. I'm not going to lie. It looks nice. I would prefer a little bit more down. That's just what I would prefer. All right. Kenny's addicted to working out. Me too, man. I'm not going to say it's easy to work out twice a week. I'm just saying that I've always felt the best and even been the strongest and the most jacked when I work out twice a week. But it is hard to do if you're addicted to working out. So what I like to do is if I go into the gym and I do like some mobility work and some like band pull-aparts and some band chest flies and some band good mornings and just like some deep body weight squats and maybe like just things to like get the body moving, break a little sweat, get a nice little pump, nice little chest and arm pump, you know, then it still satisfies that gym itch, but you're not going to burn yourself out, because I feel you, man. I'm addicted, especially after I got a home gym. I'd be down there at night looking at the squat bar, doing a few sets, just because I had it there, you know, so I feel you, man. I'm addicted to the gym myself. Yeah. Addicted to the gym, squatting every day, bruh. Where do I begin? I said, yeah, we're addicted to the gym. About to trade, about to get it right in. Bitcoin got a little bit of a liquidity grab, coming right down, looking sad, but we took it low. Now we're coming high. Bitcoin about to pump straight into the sky. Yeah, we're addicted to the gym. We're squatting every day. Yo, where do I begin? I said, yeah, cause we're addicted to the gym. Deadlifting when we shouldn't, man. Burning out again. Yeah, I got a home gym. I said I'll only work out 2 days where I win. But then, when I'm walking down in that, I see the squat rack asking, hey Jay, you trying to fight? So, I do a set, then I do another. Then I call up my friends and my brother. Then I get a cup of coffee burning on the pot. About to get some caffeine, about to hit the spot. Then we do another set, another 10 reps. Squatting every day, making a mess in the basement gym. Where do I begin? Addicted to the gym, yo, where do we begin? Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're looking at the squat rack doing curls. That's what J-Boy Bullish means. I know we like to joke, guys, but I actually love squatting and deadlifting more than I love bench pressing and rowing. I'd rather squat and deadlift than bench press and row, I'll be honest with you. There's something about squatting and deadlifting. You know, the fact that you might die. You know, you might snap your back and never walk again. You know? Something about that. Shout out to Makai, addicted to chocolate, organic HU chocolate with the coconut sugar. Yeah, that's not so bad. I like HU chocolate myself. All right? I like it myself. Yeah, thinking about deadlifting while I curl in the squat rack. All right. Thoughts on JCLB? Is this the Jason Casper like button? I think the Jason Casper like button's going straight to the moon, my man. The Jason Casper like button is going straight to the moon. Everybody better FOMO in right now. We got about 1,400 people in the chat. Shout out to Overcome 70 times 7. There's nothing like squats. Tom Platts. Squatting and deadlifting build the most muscle. Yeah, you know, I think that's true, man. I think that's true. I mean, at the very least, squats, they're good cardio. They're a good core exercise. You know. Shout out to JTubeF, likes pulls, rows, deadlifts, rack pulls, etc., etc. I'm a lot stronger pulling than pushing. So am I, honestly. I suck at the bench press. My max bench ever is just a little bit over 300 pounds. I'm never going to touch that again either. Will I distribute $1,000 today? Well, we've been live for almost 2 hours and we don't have 1,000 likes. And the deal was if we can get 1,000 likes in the first half hour. You know? J-Boy Bullish loves to dip. I love me some dips as well. Yeah, dips, chin-ups. Dips, chin-ups, rows. Deadlift, squat, bench. And Romanian split squats, lunges, reverse lunges. It's pretty much all I do. Course, bicep curls, triceps, all that stuff. I just love working out, guys. I love lifting weights, should I say. I love lifting weights. It's fun. Shout out to Splashfire Films. Belt squats to tire out the quads after real squats. That's what's up. Yeah, belt squats. Shout out to Makai with the underdesk elliptical. That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to Plutobolic. Squats, push-ups, dips, and curls is all I need. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only thing I would say is some kind of hip hinge would be beneficial so that you don't end up with dominant quads and a weak glutes and hamstrings. But if you squat the right, if you low bar squat, you can work the posterior chain pretty well. In fact, as I walk, my gluteus maximus is quite sore from yesterday's squats. You know, I've got some DOMs because I was doing some volume yesterday. Doing some squatting volume. And the butt is sore. Need some OHP in there. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about OHP. I go through phases with my OHP. You know? Do I invest in meme coins? Yeah, kind of. I've got me some SHIB, I've got me some Doge, I've got me some Pepe. You know? I've got SHIB, Doge, and Pepe, for sure. Alright, Bitcoin getting a bit more of a tumble. Taking a tumble. Tanking a tumble. Have I ever thought about getting machines in my home gym? Yeah. In fact, just the other day, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about getting a leg press machine. Yeah, for sure. Hack squat. Yeah, because look, the thing is, like, I'm old. I'm in my mid-30s, right, guys? And I would love to have some machines. I would love to have some machines, you know? The heavy compounds do take a toll. They do take a toll. I would love to have some, Shout out to R Wicked Sick, single leg squats and stuff. Yeah, that's where it's at. Yeah, I've thought about getting machines, you know. Dang it, guys, you know, I was really hoping Bitcoin was gonna pump. Do you think it's gonna pump? Please let me know. Kenny Esposito's 34. I'm 33. I'm about to be 34, which is crazy. I'm so old, man. Guys, if you're 24 right now, let me tell you, you'll be 34 before you know it. All right. I look like I'm 42. Well, that's depressing. I must be not doing it right. I must be not doing it right. But I'm not gonna lie, I have aged a lot in the past few years. I'll tell you, I have aged a lot the past few years. I put myself through a lot of stress the past few years. Pretty much just from working so much and not resting. And yeah, not sleeping enough and working too much. Like with the homestead, plus trading, plus the YouTube and all that. It's, I'm not very good with balance. So I have aged myself. I'd say since 2020, I probably aged myself 8 years. So yeah, I probably do look 42. So right now I'm trying to like recover a little bit and maybe slow down my aging a bit. But yeah, ever since the world shut down, I went to like super hyper mode of like, I gotta get my stuff together. So ever since late 2019, I started taking the homestead extremely seriously, growing my own food and all that. And I built things, you know, I built chicken coops and a whole bunch of different things around the property. And I really started taking trading much more seriously. I started a new business in that time. Started the YouTube channel. So when I look in the mirror, I say, dang, bro, you're old as heck. Shout out to Lazarus Hand, 54 years young. Age always comes on much faster than you expect. I know, it's weird. It's weird. What's a Paul Liu ID? It's Mark Harris. It's a virtual ID from a country called Paulo. I don't know really how to say it, but it will allow you to KYC on exchanges like ByBit without leaving your current citizenship. So it's valid for KYC, which is nice, you know. The mind says I don't look 40s, not even close. All right, that's cool. That's cool. I'll take it. I'll take it. I know you can reverse age, you know. J-Boy Bosch thinks I look young and spry. Spree or spry? Smoking and the water we drink ages us faster. Well, thankfully I drink only well water for my own property. Don't consume much sugar. The only sugar I consume is fruit and honey. Other than that, I don't eat any sugar. In fact, Haven't even been eating much sugary fruits lately. I've been only eating green apples and berries the past few months. I'm not big into sugar. Have I visited El Salvador? I have not, but I'm down. How did you know your current wife was the right one? How did you know she was the right person? Well, I had a vision from the Lord that I was supposed to marry my wife. This is before I even knew her. This is literally before I knew her. I knew she existed, but I didn't know her. I had never said hi to her ever. And I was praying in the shower. This is when I was in my early 20s, right after I started following the Lord. I was praying that, Lord, please bring me a woman who loves you more than she loves me. And I saw my wife in my head. I saw her, and she was also praying when I saw her. And I didn't really know that she was the one. I thought, well, that's weird. This chick I don't really know. I know she exists, but I don't know her. Why did she pop up in my head like that, right? Well, long story short, we ended up talking. And, well, we had very similar outlook on life, right? We were very apocalyptic in our outlook on life. The Lord's coming back really soon, so we need to be about His business. We wanted to have a family, and we wanted to live a biblical lifestyle. And yeah, so then this one time, we went to visit her sister and brother in New York State. And while we were there, I just knew for certain that she was the one. That's how I knew. And yeah, and that's the thing. Like our entire relationship was based around God and Jesus. And so it was not any kind of there was never any kind of, I guess, it was a God-ordained kind of thing, right? That's all it really is. And I have to say this, in hindsight, when I got married, I was a young guy, 23 years old, didn't know a dang thing about marriage, didn't know how to be a husband. And I can say that my wife didn't know a dang thing about marriage, didn't know how to be a wife. But in hindsight, I'm just amazed at how amazing of a wife she is. Because I couldn't have ever asked for a better wife, but there's no way I could have known she was going to be such a great wife. There's no way to really know. It's kind of like taking a gamble. It's like trading, There's no way to know. But the Lord worked it out, She's great. She's wonderful. I'm very blessed to have her. All right, so unavailable is 42 and still sexy as hell. Just reject modernity and embrace masculinity. Sure, what does that mean? All right, sightseeing is 23. Yeah, we're pumping now. I really wanted the box. So let's see. We might still get the box. So let's go to the 24 minute, right? Let's go to the 24 minute. Man, if we do get another little dump, guys, it is lunchtime for New York, right? If we do get something like this, guys, it's go time, baby. Are we going to get that? I don't know. I've been waiting since yesterday for a Golden Pocket retest. Greg says, for the sake of your kids, leave them far away from that religious sickness that got you, Jason. Much love. Much love to you too, Greg. May God bless you. Marriage is like the 100x trade. J-Boy Bullish been with his wife since 12th grade. That's amazing, bro. The faster the treadmill, the more Bitcoin pumps. You know what's interesting? Without God in your family, the family falls apart, Greg. You know? And I'm not just saying this is only true about Christianity. Pretty much without any kind of spirituality, any kind of common meta-narrative, a family will fall apart. And not only that, also a society will fall apart. You need to have God in your society, and the fabric of society is made up of families. All right, if there's no transcendent purpose for a family, then there's really no reason for you to form a relationship with a single woman and raise children. You might as well just have children with a whole bunch of random people and let the state raise your kids, right? So I think it's really important to have God as the center of, or I shouldn't even say God, because look, I'm open-minded enough to say, look, I believe that Jesus is God, but I can also recognize the fact that society needs to have a spiritual commonality, right? A spiritual commonality, or a shared purpose, a shared meta-narrative that unites the society together, that needs to be present for the success of any kind of human civilization. And we see this throughout all history. There has to be some kind of spiritual cohesion that keeps the family unit together, and thereby keeps the society together. And so without God, it all just falls apart, you know? So there needs to be something. There needs to be something there. All right, we got some super chats in the house. I mean, let's just be objective here, all right? Would you want your children to be raised by parents who say, there's no such thing as right or wrong, you can do whatever you want, as long as it feels good to you, because, hey, man, it's survival of the fittest, and I'm just out here to get what I can while I'm alive, and then I'm going to die? Or would you want your children to be raised by parents who believe that there's sanctity and value to human life, and that things like, you know, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet anything that is your neighbor's, honor your father and mother, do not commit adultery? I'd rather have my kids raised with those principles. Even if, let's say, God is not real, let's say God is fake, I would rather have my children be raised with those principles than to have them raised with a mindset that will ultimately lead to their destruction. Because the reality is, desire unchecked will lead to destruction, right? Yeah, do what thou wilt does not age well. I guess that is Crowleyism. Yeah, I did hear about OJ dying today. That's interesting. What were we going to look at? We were going to look at something. Shout out to Nerve for the super chat. All right, Overcome wants to look at Spell Token. Let's take a look at Spell Token. It's so funny to me when people say that religion is bad for kids. It's also funny that anybody who is Western, all right, if you are European, Australian, American, you are a benefactor of a Christian, biblical worldview and a Christian biblical morality and ethics system. All right, and what you think is right and wrong, even though you say it's not based on God. It actually is based on God, because your perception of right and wrong is based on your culture, which is based on the Bible. But you go back to pre-Christian Europe, things that we would consider appalling were normal and accepted, all right? Pedophilia, child sacrifice, rape, murder were considered normal, good things, all right? Slavery is only viewed so negatively in the West because of the biblical worldview. And don't get it twisted. Just because people who claim to be Christians were proponents of slavery doesn't mean that the biblical worldview encourages the mistreatment of humans. In fact, kidnapping somebody, according to the scripture, is worthy of the death penalty. And if you are going to have slaves, according to the scripture, you have to treat them very well, right? So, it's very strange to me. You got to have that spiritual cohesion that keeps society together. People can come together in a group and we all agree, this is right, this is wrong. And if you don't have that, the whole society will fall apart. Look at what's happening right now to our society in the West. It's falling apart. Because whether it's right or wrong, we've rejected the biblical worldview as a whole, and now there's no standard by which to say this is right or this is wrong, and it's causing utter chaos, and it's causing a dissolution of our entire society. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AstroWorks. It's not white culture money, and that's something else that's hilarious. You know, the Christian religion is a Middle Eastern religion from the Middle East and North Africa. All right, Augustine, one of the most revered theologians in Christianity, was a black man. All right. The only reason it's considered white now is because of Western Europe being predominantly made of white people. And Western Europe, it has become, you know, including the United States, has become the dominant world power in the past few hundred years. Before that, Christianity was not a white religion at all. Most of the Christians were brown or black, if we want to go by skin color. All right? So that's hilarious to even say that it's a white religion. Now, Dread Mining brings up a good point. He says when religion dominated politics, slavery was rampant and thinking was illegal. And I would absolutely agree with that. You know, I would absolutely agree with that. You know, but from the beginning, Christianity is not a political system. All right? It went counter to the thinking of the time when the Roman Empire ruled the world. It was punishable by death. It was punishable by death to be a Christian until all of a sudden the Roman Empire became a Christian empire, right? So its foundation is not political. I mean, Jesus himself said, "My kingdom is not of this world." Right? Why do Christian people forcefully convert others? I don't think Christian people forcefully convert others. I don't think that's the case. How is this the case at all? I mean, historically, Christianity spread amongst intense persecution. Right? Like I said, it was illegal to be a follower of Jesus for a very long time. And even when the Roman Empire became a Christian empire, it was still punishable to practice any kind of form of religion that went against what Rome wanted you to do, right? So maybe you could say political entities force people to make certain statements. But yeah, right. It's very interesting. Right now, Christianity is growing fastest in countries where it's illegal to be a Christian, right? A lot of Islamic countries, Egypt, Iran, some of the fastest growing Christian populations, China, where if you don't follow the state-sanctioned version of the religion, they don't want you to do that. Religion is a tough subject to tackle on stream. Yeah. Well, you know, it's my channel and I like to talk about it. Most wars were started by religion. I don't think that's true. I personally think that, objectively speaking, most wars are started because somebody has something that somebody else wants. Now, people use the name of religion in order to start wars all the time. All right. But look at what happens when you take away religion. I think the 20th century is a great case study for what happens when you take away religion. All right, look at the rise of communism and humanism. It created lots of death, lots of wars, lots of death. More death in the 20th century because of atheism than there was in the previous centuries because of religion. Now, I know you can make the case it's because the weapons were better. Maybe true. But still, that desire to kill and take things that other people have, this is not a religious issue. This is something that comes from the heart of man, because the heart of man is evil, right? Man left to his own devices will not choose the right thing. And this is why it's so important to have a biblical worldview, because according to the Bible, man is fallen, man is in need of a savior, and God himself became that savior. God himself took on flesh. He died to pay the penalty for the sins of mankind, and then he rose again from the dead to vindicate himself that indeed he is God in the flesh. And he promises that if we make the decision to turn from evil, that he will fill us with his Holy Spirit, cause us to be born again as a new creation, and that we have the hope of a physical bodily resurrection to exist in the state that we were originally created to live in. It's funny how everybody likes to point the finger and say, religion's bad, this group is bad, that group is bad. The reality is, guys, we're all bad. All right? It doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter what person is in charge. Do you notice that powers, governments are always corrupt? Always? Why is that? It's because man is corrupt. And if man is given lots of power, he will use that for malevolent purposes. And we are in need of a redeemer and a savior to change us so that we're not like that anymore. This is what separates us from God. And this is why it's so wonderful that God made a way for us to be reunited to him. Greg says, what about them priests with slippery fingers for younger boys? What about them? Like I said, the heart of man is evil. What about, like I said, the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, where slippery fingers with younger boys was not only popular, but also accepted and considered a good thing. It was considered a great thing back then for men to have slippery fingers with young boys. It was considered normal and right and good. So by what standard, Greg, do you say it's bad to have slippery fingers with younger boys? Are you borrowing from the biblical morality? Is your European heritage that's based on a biblical worldview causing you to have a biblical standard of right or wrong? It seems to me like the only reason you are judgmental against what priests do with little boys is because you are choosing when you want to say the biblical worldview is correct and when you want to say it's incorrect. So you got to be consistent, my friend. You know? if religion is meant to control people, Yogi, because Yogi says religion is meant to control people, I would agree that religion can be used to control people. But when we look at the gospel, the good news about Jesus, it has only been used to set people free. And when the first followers of Jesus came on the scene back in the day, they were, like I said, persecuted, put to death, tortured. In other words, it was the religion that the government wanted to control. The government did not create the religion to control the people. The government actually had to conform and eventually become Christian. And when you look at what the biblical worldview has done throughout all of the world, where it's been embraced, not just the West, but also in the East, it has been very beneficial to society. We've seen societies flourish like never before. You know? Not only that, the Bible itself is a book about how God is going to destroy the one world government. The coming New World Order, the Bible talks about how God is going to destroy it and set up his own government based on righteousness and justice instead of corruption. Which is why our current, in the West, there's so much shade thrown against the biblical worldview. Because they don't want you to hold to a biblical worldview. Because they don't want you to be free. They don't want you to be at peace. They want you to be scared, and they want you to think that they are the ones in control. They don't want you to be prosperous. They don't want you to have a blessed family life. Right? They want like what Greg wants. They want you to just go out there and do whatever the heck you want to do. Do drugs, drink, have sex with a whole bunch of random people, have a whole bunch of random kids with no parents so that the state can raise your communist little slaves so that they can eat the GMO foods and live in the smart cities and eat the bugs while they depopulate the world slowly. That's what happens when you take away the biblical worldview. As opposed to having strong communities, strong families that agree in a common morality, that agree in a common work ethic, that agree on a standard of right and wrong, that have commonalities that hold us together, that understand that there's a higher power that we are held accountable to. You know? How's the Bitcoin price doing? Shout out to Greg. You know what's funny, Greg? I used to love Cradle of Filth back in the day, bro. I really did. I used to love Cradle of Filth. No joke. Danny Filth, bro. Yeah, I used to love Cradle of Filth. In fact, I probably still would if I put them on. Alright. Good. It was some good music. Which biblical worldview? There are 45,000 denominations arguing. So, you know, I'm a big proponent of the essentials, right? I think obviously people are going to have disagreements about things, Mark Harris. But what are the essential things that I'm talking about in a biblical worldview? Well, the number one most important thing is that God created man in his own image. All right. This is literally what the Constitution of the United States is. Well, I say what you will about the founders being deists and Illuminists, and because, you know, a lot of them were. But nonetheless, the very foundation of our Western society is that God has created man in his own image. And because God has created man in his own image, the human being has intrinsic value. And nothing can take that away from us because it was given to us by a higher power. So the foundation of all of this is that humanity itself is something... there is sanctity to human life. There is dignity to human life. And we are all equally created in the image of God, male and female. This is one of the most fundamental things about humanity. God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Right? And so male and female, we are all equal before God, all of us. That's the foundation. Then the second foundation are some of just the basic logical things that God has revealed to us about what his character is, right? He says, don't murder. Why? Because God is life. He says, don't steal, right? Because God's not a thief. He says, don't bear false witness, don't lie. Why? Because God is the truth. He says to honor your parents. He says to take one day every 7 days and rest on that day to worship God and be thankful for everything you have. Love your neighbor as yourself. I mean, this is the basic biblical worldview. Now, if you want to argue about different aspects of that, what day is the Sabbath day? Should we have long hair or short hair? Or all these other things that people talk about? Go and argue. But I think it's pretty clear that the basic things are extremely obvious and no one argues about them. You know? Shout out to Preparing for War. He says, judgment is near. Repent and call on the Lord. That is true. That is true. I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm the technical analyst focused on the TA. Well, Joker, this is my channel, and I'll be honest with you, the real Jason Casper cares way more about the Bible and Jesus than I do about technical analysis. So I can't help it, all right? I can't help it. Kill switch engage, man. I used to love Kill Switch Engage. The album, The End of Heartache, that was my jam back in like 2007, man. This is a great question. So Imperial 88, he says, why would God then allow bad things to happen? Like the world wars and all the innocent people praying and nothing happened. Where was their answer? Well, I would say this, 19 Imperial 88. When we see bad things happen, it should be a reminder to us that things are not right. Right? It's a constant reminder to us that things are not the way they were supposed to be. Death, wars, all these things are a constant reminder to us that things are not the way they are supposed to be. Because when we see these things happen, we know intrinsically that they're not good, right? And because we know intrinsically that these things are not good and that these things are evil, it means we also understand that there's a standard that transcends us for us to determine what is good and what is evil, right? So this does point us to the fact that there is a good God, and when we see evil, these things are contrary to him. And it's a constant reminder that we are in need of a savior. I mean, the very fact that even if I could die in a war, or I could die just walking on this treadmill, I get hit by a truck, right? Life comes to an end. There's pain, there's suffering. This is the reality that we live in. It's a constant reminder that things are not the way they should be. And the second thing I would say is, we don't know about God and the people that prayed during wars and how God did answer those people. We do not know because we were not there and we are not those people. But the third thing I would say is that all this should point us to Jesus, to the Savior that God has provided for mankind, because there's a solution to all of this. And we know that this life is not the be-all, end-all, right? There's a world to come. There's a resurrection. There is a Savior who can save us from this existence. And so I believe that these things are here to show us things are not right. Is there a solution? And the answer is yes, there is a solution. You know? Hit by a truck while walking on a treadmill. Be safe. All right? Are we or are we not animals? That's a good question, Bruno. So, Biologically speaking, we're very, very similar to animals. But the difference, I would say, between humanity and animals is God created man in his own image. And with all the animals, he did not create them in his own image. And I would say that humanity is also the only creation that does two things that the animals don't do. Number one, we're very self-destructive. We're very, very self-destructive. Like most animals are not, all right? We engage in self-destructive behaviors. But secondly, we also have this feeling within us where we understand that there's something called right and something called wrong, right? For example, I have a rooster out there, okay? And I have a hen. Now, if I put another rooster in there, the new rooster's gonna be banging the hen that my first rooster had as his wife. Now, to chickens, there's nothing wrong with that, right? No one would think that they're just chickens. They don't have any kind of conviction, right? But if I were to cheat on my wife, or if my wife were to cheat on me, or if anybody's in a relationship and you cheat, you know it's wrong, okay? You know it's wrong. It doesn't feel good. And you might try and suppress that feeling until eventually it stops feeling wrong. But you know it's wrong. Why? Because we were created in God's image. That's what makes us different. Huge major shout out to Crypto Lifer. He says, thank you so much for the super chat, my bro. He says, God gives you free will. You have the will to do good or evil. That's the key. You can live with the devil or live with God. You have a choice every minute of your life. How do you desire to vibrate? Proof of free will. This is absolutely true. I agree with you, Crypto Lifer. You know, why are there bad things happening in the world? Because people have made the decision to do bad things. And the bad things we do affect other people. You know? Bad things that we do affect other people. You know, a great example is if I did cheat on my wife, for example, that would affect my children, which would affect the way they grow up, which would affect the way that they view the way parents should be in a relationship together, which would potentially affect their future relationships, which would affect the way they raise their children, right? If I kill somebody, that affects the family of the person I killed. That affects my family because now I'm in jail or whatever. The bad things we do affect other people, and we all have a choice. Do I believe in science? Do I believe in science? How do you define science, Imperial 88? I believe in the scientific method. I believe that God has created us to live in an existence where we can observe things and measure things to find out how things work, right? He's created things that can be discovered, like mathematics. God created mathematics. Math only works because God created it. Same with physics. God created these laws that the creation has to abide by. Now, it's interesting. Imagine if the creation stopped abiding by the laws of physics. The whole fabric of everything would fall apart. Right? The difference is the creation doesn't really have the choice whether or not to obey the law. But as humans, we have the choice whether or not to obey God's law for how He created us to live. If we choose to obey and do the things that are right, things will work properly. We will be blessed. We will be prosperous. We will be happy. If we choose not to live in the way we were created to live, we will be cursed and bad things will happen to us over time and society will fall apart. And we are literally watching that happen in our society right now. All right? Yet secularism, humanism is a religion. It's absolutely a religion. You know? Shout out to Crypto Lifer. The science changed when the money changed. That's so true. And that's absolutely true. You know, we got ourselves an interesting existence where we live in right now. All right, shout out to Tony English for the super chat. Shout out to Christopher Munn. He says, Jesus says the greatest commandment is to love God and to love others. We were created in His image and we need to respect others as such. Absolutely. That's the truth, right? Can you imagine? Like, all right, so people who out there hating on the Bible, hating on religion, I just want you to imagine for 1 year, if everybody in the world actually lived by the 10 Commandments, I'm not saying it's possible. Imagine if everybody in the world for a year lived by the 10 Commandments. All right? All the problems would be gone. All right? All the problems would be gone. All the wars would end. The corrupt financial system would end because you're not supposed to covet and you're not supposed to steal. All the corruption in politics would end because you're not supposed to bear false witness. People would be honoring their parents. All right? People wouldn't be stealing from each other, coveting things other people have, being jealous. People would be honoring God. People would have stronger communities. But no, that stuff is so old-fashioned. You know, we've progressed. We've progressed beyond that now. Thou shalt not murder is bad. Now, how old-fashioned, how bigoted are you to think it's wrong to murder and lie and cheat and steal? P says, can we see some evidence? Evidence of what? Evidence of God? I mean, look out your window, bro. There's literally an irreducibly complex creation that exists. What I mean by that is, if certain aspects of the creation were not here, the whole thing would fall apart, right? To say that there's no proof of God is literally like me saying, to say that there's no proof of a creator is literally like me saying the computer I'm live streaming on right now created itself because there was enough time. That's retarded. I mean, honestly, that there's something wrong with your brain if you think that that's possible. Now, you don't have to believe in the Bible. You don't have to believe in the God of the Bible. You don't have to believe in the God of Islam. You don't have to believe in any deity that man has named and worships. But to say that everything created itself from nothing is idiotic. Look out your dang window. Look at your own body. Look at your DNA. Do you know that when your cells multiply, your DNA and your RNA line up to make copies of each other? Do you know that there's no chemical bond that's formed there when they make copies? They just somehow know how to line up and how to make a copy. Do you know how much information is packed into your DNA? Trillions of letters that automatically know without any kind of chemical bond how to line up in the right spot and make copies. An insanely complex code that this is the result of a non-intelligent process that just took a lot of time. The laws of physics, the things that we depend on to do our everyday tasks, where did those things come from? You know? Where did those things come from? Exactly. That's like saying there's an explosion in a printing press and you end up with an Oxford dictionary with all the paper bound up in a nice book with every letter perfectly aligned. It's even more crazy than saying that, you know? Yeah, shout out to Aaron G. He says, when the fecal matter comes into contact with the revolving apparatus, you will all pray. And when things go bad, you say, oh my God. It's true. That's true. Thomas says, I'm starting to sound crazy. Do I sound crazy? Do you guys think I sound crazy? Or do you think somebody who says, this all just magically created itself from nothing sounds crazy? Which one sounds more crazy, all right? Let's be intellectually honest here. Yes, so Elf Scribing says nobody knows who created it, and I don't know either. I just say God. I'm not going to disagree with you, right? I personally believe that I know who God is. That's my own personal belief. But if I didn't know who God was, I would still have to say there's no way everything created itself from nothing. That doesn't make any sense. I would have to say I don't know what created it, but it's not a mindless process. It's clearly an intelligent mind, an intelligent process that created these things, right? So I admit that I'm biased in saying I believe that Jesus is God, the creator God, who revealed himself to mankind in the flesh. That's my own belief. But if I didn't have that belief, I would still, like L Scripting says, yeah, I wouldn't be able to say I know who it is, but it means I would still have to say something with a mind or some process that's intelligent created all this. Tree and Landscape Services says, stick to crypto, mate. Well, bro, we get super biblical and religious and philosophical on this channel, bro. So, you know, I have no reason to just chill with you guys and talk about these things, because what do I have to lose? I'm just being who I am. All right, shout out to Aaron G. He didn't believe in God until his daughter was born, 3 months premature. And he prayed. And that was the beginning, I guess, of his faith journey. All right, Bitcoin, is it going to come down to our golden pocket? What do you think? Yeah, like aliens? Yeah, like that's the thing. So yeah, I would say maybe aliens. If I didn't believe I know who God is, maybe aliens, but then you would have to say that the aliens created the existence we live in, and then, yeah. Whatever the case, whatever you would want to believe about it. It's just silly to think that it all created itself. And you watch, because, you know, pretty soon, I believe, this is actually going to be the main, the cultural religion. Like, atheism has been the cultural religion for the past 100 years. At least in academia, but this is going to start to take over, in my opinion, where most people are going to say it's the aliens that created us, and the gods that people used to worship were actually aliens from other planets, and now they're back. I think that's what's going to happen soon. Let's see if Bitcoin hits the box. I hope Bitcoin hits our box. That would be great. But what a slow move for Bitcoin today, guys. Have I heard of Alan Watts? I have not heard of Alan Watts. Devon is Team Aliens. All right, guys, I gotta head out. I want to stay all day and talk and trade, but I gotta go. But guys, God bless you all. And look, even if you're not religious, even if you don't believe what I believe, I don't care, because we're all created in the image of God, and I have love and respect for everybody. That being said, maybe we'll see you guys tomorrow, and if not, I'll see y'all next week. Peace.